The recent cancellation of Ontario's $100 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink has sent shockwaves through the tech and political spheres. This decision, driven by escalating trade tensions between the United States and Canada, highlights the growing interconnectedness of technology, economics, and global politics. The move has left many wondering about the future of internet connectivity in remote areas and the broader implications for international collaborations. The contract, initially hailed as a solution for bridging the digital divide in Ontario, aimed to connect 15,000 remote households to Starlink's satellite internet service. However, the imposition of hefty tariffs by the US on Canadian goods, a move seen by many as protectionist, has soured the deal. This situation underscores the fragility of global partnerships in an era of heightened economic nationalism. The cancellation also raises questions about the role of private companies like SpaceX in public infrastructure projects, particularly in critical areas like internet access. As governments worldwide grapple with the challenges of providing reliable and affordable internet, the Ontario Starlink saga serves as a cautionary tale. It highlights the need for careful consideration of geopolitical factors and the potential risks associated with relying heavily on single providers. The ramifications of this decision are far-reaching and extend beyond the borders of Canada and the US. The cancellation has triggered discussions about the vulnerability of global supply chains and the potential for similar disputes to erupt elsewhere. As the world becomes increasingly reliant on technology and interconnected economies, the Ontario Starlink case serves as a stark reminder of the complex interplay between trade, politics, and innovation in the 21st century. The decision to scrap the Starlink contract was primarily driven by the imposition of a 25% tariff on Canadian goods by the US government. This move, part of a broader trade war initiated by the US, was met with swift retaliation from Canada, with Ontario leading the charge. Premier Doug Ford, who had initially championed the Starlink deal, called the tariffs unacceptable and vowed to protect Ontario's economy. Ford's decision to cancel the contract was more than just an economic maneuver, it was a political statement. By targeting a high-profile project involving Elon Musk, a close associate of the US administration, Ford sent a clear message that Ontario would not be bullied on trade. The move resonated with many Canadians who saw it as a bold stance against US protectionism. The cancellation also highlighted the growing unease among some Canadian officials about the influence of US tech giants. The Starlink deal, which would have given SpaceX a significant foothold in Canada's internet infrastructure, had already faced criticism from opposition parties. The subsequent trade dispute further fueled concerns about over-reliance on US companies and the potential for such dependence to be exploited for political gain. The fallout from the Starlink cancellation extends beyond the immediate economic impact. The decision has strained relations between the US and Canada, two countries with a long history of close ties. It has also raised questions about the future of NAFTA and the viability of free trade agreements in an era of rising nationalism. The situation serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between economic cooperation and national interests in the globalized world. The cancellation of the Ontario contract is a setback for Elon Musk and SpaceX. While the $100 million deal represents a small fraction of SpaceX's overall valuation, it symbolizes a loss of potential revenue and market share. The move also comes at a time when Musk's other ventures, including Tesla, are facing challenges due to the ongoing trade war. Despite the financial implications, Musk has remained relatively quiet about the Ontario situation, only tweeting "oh well" in response to the initial cancellation threat. This muted response may reflect a strategic calculation to avoid further escalating tensions or jeopardizing potential future deals. Meanwhile, the cancellation leaves Ontario scrambling to find alternative solutions for connecting its remote communities. While options like Telestat's Lightspeed service exist, they are still in development and years away from being widely available. This situation highlights the urgency of bridging the digital divide, particularly as internet access becomes increasingly essential for education, healthcare, and economic participation. The Ontario government has announced plans to explore other options, including partnerships with Canadian and European telecommunications companies. This move signals a potential shift away from reliance on US tech giants and towards diversifying its technology partnerships. The situation also presents an opportunity for smaller players in the satellite internet market to step up and fill the void left by Starlink's absence. The Ontario Starlink saga has reverberated far beyond North America, sending ripples throughout the global tech industry and raising concerns about the future of international collaborations. The situation has highlighted the vulnerability of global supply chains and the potential for trade disputes to disrupt critical infrastructure projects. In Italy, the government is now reconsidering its own $1.6 billion deal with SpaceX to provide satellite internet services. The Italian government cited concerns about Musk's reliability and the evolving geopolitical landscape as factors influencing their decision. This development underscores the far-reaching consequences of the Ontario cancellation and the potential for it to trigger a domino effect, with other countries re-evaluating their reliance on U.S. tech companies. The situation also raises broader questions about the role of private companies in providing essential public services like internet access. As governments worldwide grapple with the challenges of bridging the digital divide, the Ontario Starlink case serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the need for careful consideration of geopolitical factors and the potential risks associated with relying heavily on single providers, especially those based in countries with volatile trade policies. The future of internet connectivity, particularly in remote and underserved areas, now appears uncertain. While the Ontario Starlink cancellation presents challenges, it also creates opportunities for innovation and collaboration. Governments and the private sector must work together to develop sustainable solutions that ensure equitable access to this increasingly vital resource. The situation underscores the need for a diversified approach to internet connectivity, one that considers both technological advancements and geopolitical realities.